Well, hello. Do we have a presentation today? Let me know how my audio is and tell me just how clear this picture is because this picture should be very, very clear to you right now. Sound is good. Thank you. Yes, audio and visual has everything to do with your Wi-Fi. And this morning I had high-speed internet put in directly into the studio instead of using Wi-Fi from a building pretty far away. So my video quality and my audio quality should have significantly increased for you. And that's always good. Awesome. Hey Justin, how you doing? So we have no errant ad today. This video is extremely important. I did a presentation over 2 years ago on the poem Qutub, and all I did was highlight selections. Since then, I have read Andrew Chumbley's commentary. He is the author of Qutub. He is a expert on Sufism, on ancient Persian and Kurdish belief systems. What we're going to go into today is an ancient faith from the people of the book that is far older than the Old Testament. It is older than Zoroastrianism. It is older than every single branch of the Gnosis. It is older than Christianity. What we're going to be looking in today is this poem is amazing. And Andrew Chumbley is a mystic. He is a master of the occult. And he put together, before he died, an epic presentation, a poem called Qutub. And while he's done a very good job at concealing some divine things in verse, in his commentary, he revealed the meanings of certain words and phrases in Qutub. And for you Archaix veterans, it's going to blow your mind what this poem is about. So we're going to be getting into, by reading this, thank you for the shirt, compliment on the shirt. This is a small pattern. We have the exact same shirt in the Archaix Shopify site in the links in the description box. You can choose any shirt that you order from the Shopify. Because we make our own t-shirts now, you can make this wider, like 14 inches. You can make it smaller. You can ask for this to be put on the back and put Archaix on the front. There's all kinds of different, we just haven't done the commercial yet. Sometime this week, I'm going to get with my people. We're going to be doing a commercial showing you our new t-shirt shop. And this is what we're doing. And we're customizing. And if you've been to the Archaix store lately, you'll see we've got all new patterns, all new designs, colors, different designs of shirts. And they keep bringing me different ones to try on, and I just wear them. Third space, thank you. But yeah, thanks for the compliment. I think that was Crystal. Let's see. But I digress. We need to get on with this presentation. And we need to turn that AC on. Good. So I'm so glad the picture and audio is very clear because this is such an important video. So I'm going to read this poem to you. Remember, it is laden with ancient Kurdish faith, also from the Zendavesta. This is the beliefs of the people of the book. It's very ancient, and it doesn't mean a book. Only those who are on the outside looking in think that the people of the book is in reference to an actual book. A book is a container of knowledge. That's all it is. A A book can be anything that contains knowledge, just like the Great Pyramid was anciently called a pillar, and it was covered in divine inscriptions. Why? Because pillars in temples support something, and they're covered in all kinds of pictures and text concerning divine things. So we have, I'm just going to lead by example. There goes my dog. I'm going to share my screen real quick as a way of intro, just to familiarize yourself just a little with what we're going to do here, because this is pretty profound. So Andrew Chumley wrote this poem. And like I said, he's an expert on Sufism, the ancient Kurdish beliefs. These are the people, forgive me for mispronouncing it, the Yezidas. I believe Andrew Collins wrote quite a bit about them as well. But these people are from ancient Iran, Armenia, northern Syria, Iraq. They are the Kurds. You've heard about the Kurds, especially in 1993, 1994. Saddam Hussein had some interactions with the Kurds. It wasn't very beneficial for the Kurds. But they also, the southern steppes of Russia, these people are ancient, and so are their beliefs. But what they believed is astonishing. And we're going to be getting into that. So, Andrew, his writing style, very poetic, very enigmatic. So this video is going to be after this intro, this video is going to be in 3 phases. I'm going to show you and read you Qutub. Then I'm going to show you the cipher. I'm going to show you what these enigmatic words and statements actually mean. The cipher is very intriguing. To get a lot of these meanings, I had to read Andrew Chumley's own commentary. Now, the third section is the wrap up. We're going to go through Qutub again. Not the whole poem. I'm not going to reread it. I'm just going to go through what it means when you apply the cipher. It's amazing. 3 sections. So, he who is illuminated with the brightest light will cast the darkest shadow. These are just examples of Chumley's writing. These are sections out of the poem. This truth by many lies is taught. Where have you heard that before? The stolen gift of dragon's blood hath scorched a path which few desire beyond the future in the past. And grant my lips the dragon's song. Here's one that I found really intriguing. Only echoes answer prayer. Man, where have you heard that before? Remember, I've said this since the inception of my channel. The prayer of desperation admits a situation for what it is and thus continues it. That's the type of world we live in. And the type of mirrored reality that we live in that echoes back exactly what's broadcast into it is a feature of the poem of Qutub. Unseen who stalketh behind, O thee, wherein thou dost walk out alone, who creepeth nigh all dying men. On the surface, much of his statements in these poems sound cryptic, but once you apply the cipher, it is so amazing. To separate their flesh from bone. Oh, that's a part of that one. Unseen who stalketh behind, O thee, wherein thou dost walk out alone, who creepeth nigh all dying men, to separate their flesh from bone. Then draweth down the dust of age, to dry the blood spilt on the page, and hide the life within the stone. The stone? Where have you heard that before? And dreameth dreams of death and time, where life's river runneth shallow. This is I'm just giving you a few examples of his writing style. Lift up my sacrifice, thus sang the lapis flute of Jan, and at my word let fall the blade upon the ripened field of man. Sacrifice, lapis, flute, word, blade, field of man. These are key terms. When you apply the cipher, you understand exactly what it's talking about. At winter's hand plucketh summer's rose. Our lives are done, yet our sight is whole. In a bed of clay, neath heaven's dome, to cut the breath of the sleeper, that the hands of death may reach out, draw him down and ever deeper, to drink from hell's own tear-filled cup. Who once wast mourned is now the weeper. I'm almost done with the intro. The fish hath leapt the dragon gate, the bird escaped the hunter's hand, and God hath died and yet become a man with peacock feathers fanned. So these are just examples of what we're going to be getting into. So what we find in Qutub. What we find in Qutub is a layering of symbols draped in mystic images that were important to the ancient Kurds, the Yezidas, and also ancient Iran, that whole area of the world. So we're gonna start Qutub now. There's no reason to delay it, and there's no reason for any obiter dictum. The poem speaks for itself. The poem is moving, and it flows better than just the few examples that I provided here. But when we get to the end of the poem and I read you the cipher, you're going to have all kinds of mind explosions. That's part 2. And then part 3, a summary of what the poem means when the cipher's applied. What this means for the book of Revelation, what this actually means for the woman who rides the beast, and how the Judeo-Christian interpretations were deliberately put there and gave us a falsified version of the future. It's amazing. We are in the apocalypse. The apocalypse means to unveil, and that is what is happening. Let's start this poem. Share my screen. I don't know who's blowing up my phone, but they need not do it. Alrighty now. Qutub. Get this pretty poem here. Qutub, Andrew D. Chumbley, a master at his art. You know what? That's an errant. He's a true errant. He's already passed on. He's probably already back in another form. This book is dedicated to the companions of the lie. Another very interesting thing about our world. In the poem of Qutub, our world is referred to as the lie. He who is illuminated with the brightest light will cast the darkest shadow. The poem is kind of long. Bear with me. There is a great reward when we sum this up. Here lie the remnants of a book, once written by no mortal hand, once sealed within a silver vault, and lost amid the desert sand. The eon soul hath forged a key to open wide this book to thee, and show thee that faith hath not planned. To thee, Azurvan Akarana, all holy books I come to burn, save this which by thy quill I write, all else to ash and dust will turn. The nuptial flame of truth and lie shall quicken mine own ink to dry, and seal the spell of Kedir's urn. You will come to know what Kedir is in a minute. The prophet of the peacock quill hath drunk God's blood from out the cup of Iblis and the blessed few that with Eve's brood refuse to sup. Ye children of fair Lilith born, Come tread the path of blame and scorn, for you from hell have fallen up. Gaze long, gaze deep into the pool, and with each breath glide gently in, and there content thyself to drift in skies wherein the angels swim. Then look up from the well, to see these moving lips that tell of thee thine own reflected twin. Look thou far into the waters, the mirror wide and pure and clear, and feign a deep and dream-filled sleep, yet leave ajar thine waking ear. And as you listen to each word, thou shalt enflesh that which is heard, the double song of old Kadir. Before the limit of the truth, the infinity of the lie, before the mask it ever was wrought, when first the watcher's eye met eye, before the hand first touched the clay, a voice from silence chanced to speak. Yet who spoke, thou or I? Then the answer to the question, the secret told to none but thee. Behold the starry lock Qutub, behold the peacock angel's key. The circle of the years done, the oath-bound cup lieth o'erturned. By whose hand? They answered, we. The running wine hath stained the book, as ink thy blood is spilt for me. Yet time and fools all words erase, but not the secret told to thee. Here the expanse of endless night, where stars like bloodied footprints mark the angel's path by the shoreless sea. The prophets pen the murdering knife, both leave a single cockatrice upon the parchment of our life, the signature of Lacbysis. In writing I shall cut the thread that bindeth both the quick and dead, and yet my words may tie the cord to guide the hand of Nemesis. Speak here, O peacock angel's child. Let thy quill of itself to write, and silent bleed the first God's vein to draw thine ink from blackest light. Feed the fire of this burning book with words born from thine own heart's flame. Show here the way of the dragon's flight. He that leadeth this procession doth wear the guise of God and beast, as the ox-goad and the oxen, who leadeth most doth guide the least. Seekest thou for light or darkness? Seekest thou for truth or lies? When neither serve, where thou shalt feast, meet me at the altar table. Meet me beneath the black noon sun. Drink from the cup of thine own blood, and seek for that which all men shun. At midnight, mid the field of corn, the bull is skinned, the snake is born. Thy path this moment hath begun, as crooked as the lightning bolt, and narrow as the sharpest knife, the way exact beyond all laws. Who chanceth not shall lose his life. He that murdereth his brother and becometh wholly other shall take the daemon for his wife. The feathers of the plumed snake, from each the dragon's scales unfold, and there the starry embers glint with fire amid the green and gold. Each plume doth frame with rainbow hues the azure eyes of black Taus, whose winged gaze burneth deathly cold, O dragon heart of energy, who dwelleth in the form of void. Thy coils encircle each event, in thee all forces are alloyed. O thou metacosm of between, who art above, beyond, below, thine attributes we name and make, for aught imagined is that we know. By thee we forge the eon's chain, fate's edge to break yet preordain. God's clay upon man's wheel to throw, with 7 handfuls of the earth, brought unto me by Azrael, I shall grant a man a greater form, and with my breath the image fill. And where the face of Arana, storm veiled as in a wolfish pelt, his howls are heaven's battle rage. Before his throne hath nature knelt. But see the hand upon the page shall trace a word beyond its age, and draw the sword from great Orion's belt. Of hell, from seeds dropped from the sinner's plate, hath spanned the arch of heaven's roof, and caused the world's edge to abate. From each bow hangs sweet nectared fruit, yet venoms feed the deepest root. Here the path without a path, beyond the gateless gate. Who with each sin shall rise above the crowded carnal bed of earth, yet take his fill from pleasure's breast, and sate himself amidst her mirth, shall make each vice a ladder's rung, wherewith to climb the death-strewn mire, and from each corpse reclaim his birth. Shall I call thee Azdiha, the fire drake of ancient fame, or yet call thee old Kadir, or doth the angel hide thy name? Yea, thou art these and evermore. Thou art the soul within the core of I, who am the very same. I am known, and thou art mystery, wisdom and love. I name thee, Muse. What voice have I to praise thee, when speech will but thy beauty lose? Thou dancest ever out of reach, and with thy guile the guileless teach of me, the pen that wrote thy ruse. Silence veileth the Sphinx's smile within the hollow idol's breast, to break the god's own wooden robe and add to it the phoenix nest. This secret that is called the lie, there is no truth, but here is all, not to deceive, but yet to test. The fool behind the smiling mask doth ever watch the stranger's face, and seeking there to catch the gate, shall find but blindness in its place. The eyes of truth seek for the lie, and men but seek and wonder why. Both in the mirror find no trace. All gods are worthy of belief, if they should answer to thy call, but aught that faileth to avail should swiftly out of heaven fall. Like lead returned unto the forge, where magic turneth all to gold, to fake one image of them all. Whom do I seek, that may be found within the solitude of thee? Thou hast escaped beyond the breach that maketh all but memory. Between the hand, the touch, the thought, flieth the moth which none have caught. Yet I, the flame, thine end shall be. Thine eye in seeking seeth not, the reaching hand, it graspeth air. Though blind and bound, thy eye and hand have found me neither here nor there. While either side the temple door men rush to lie, with priest or whore, all pass me naked on the stair. The abyss crossed, the pathway strayed, each sacrifice doth mark the road, each slow, old flesh from new flesh flayed. Great instants mark this lightning birth, and far beyond both womb and grave, from dead stars was mine image made. The hell of those who cannot speak, whose hearts grow cold with untold pain, whose love stillborn dieth unfulfilled, whose thoughts upon the tongue's leash strain. This muted crowd my sorrows bear, and in their silence share. Yet by the quill in heaven, in hell I reign. All ancient books of lore shall burn, and then will countless wise men shout, their tongues the flames outstretched to cry, a prayer to put the fire out. But one sage will silent be, and in the flames my words will see, the truth within is truth without. The hell of those who do but speak, whose tongues but move the air in vain, their voices stifle hardened thought, who live to speak their lives again. Their prayers are curses that repeat, their sins and thus their silence cheat. All words are lies, yet truth sustain. The world is swathed with inflayed skin, torn from my back and hung to dry. A cerecloth for another corpse, and yet another by and by. A swaddling cloth to wrap the babe, who suckleth straight the hanged man's seed. Our first words they do but echo that which we utter as we die. The daughters of pale Lilith stand upon the letters of this book, and with my brothers guide thy hand to once more amid these pages look. All men are welcome here to try, to chance their lives or else to die, mere men upon God's fishing hook. At the crossroads of all pathways, where fated men their fate appoint, the peacock angel and the snake with venom mine own brow anoint. They cast my corpse upon the pyre, then walk away within the fire. Who followeth hath found the path, lost within the empty point. Walk on this instant of Qutub, be thou the thunderbolt of chance, between the gate of this and that, as absence in thy presence dance. Take thou the world to be thy lover, and take thyself and make it other. To this the lie turn fate askance. All right. That's the poem of Qutub. That is a lot to unpack. And for the majority of you, it was poetic, it was enigmatic, very cryptic, and it doesn't mean a whole lot. I get that. For Archaix veterans that are familiar with some of these terms and concepts and imagery, I know you saw some mental pictures in your head. But we're now going to go through the cipher. Because you heard many unfamiliar terms and phrases, and now we have to attach meaning and significance to them before we sum it up as to what Qutub is really conveying. All right. Cipher time. Let's do it. Go back to share. Man, I'm so happy about this new internet. Cipher, meanings of words and terms. So, the title is Qutub. Qutub represents the axis of the world, axis mundi, the center of the earth. This isn't me telling you this. Andrew Chumble said that in his commentary. Qutub. Now we know from the Archaix research that in the oldest writings, the great pillar of Egypt, the pillar of Sorid, the pillars in the land of Syriad, the pillar of Enoch, the pillars of the Sethites, the pyramids, they were in Egypt. And Egypt was considered in many different ancient sources as the middle of the earth. Sealed within a silver vault is the starry canopy. Lost amid the desert sand, Giza, Great Pyramid location. Eon's soul hath forged a key. The benefactor forces provide understanding this book, the Great Pyramid. Remember I showed you the Great Pyramid, when the capstone is put back on place, it's 204 courses. And remember, in the prophecies of the last days in 2nd Esdras, we find out that the prophet Esdras received divine revelations about the future, the end times, in 204 books. A book is merely a container of knowledge. All right, let's see. Okay, Azervan Akarana, the uncreated first principle, which is demonized inside the world construct. Qadir, we saw this 2 or 3 times. Qadir, also old Qadir. Qadir is an immortal soul disguised, a benefactor who chooses to remain in the lie to guide other souls out. That's Qadir and old Qadir. Qadir, we can all be Qadir, because when we pass away from this construct, it will become our role as a benefactor. We will have a choice. Are you going to ascend even higher in the soul's growth, or are you going to take time out of your ascendancy on your next life sims or your next construct? And are you going to descend into base matter and try to pull some of those souls out? Because Qadir in our world is an immortal soul who's already graduated here. But instead of moving on, this soul has decided to stay here and help others find the gate and the key. So this implies that when we move from this construct into another reality on the soul's eternal journey, we're going to have choices when we're going to decide to either continue our ascendancy, or if we're going to descend back into base matter in another construct in order to be the old Qadir of that world, of that lie, to pull more souls from the mire. The spell in Qadir's urn. This is the program uploaded from the sorcerer's vault. My opinion is, it's talking about what was done in the king's chamber of the Great Pyramid, which altered the whole program. Because even in Qutub, we find out that the original plan for the souls that are in the lie was totally different, because a benefactor appeared and did something that altered the plan. It's in the poem of Qutub. So, peacock angel, ancient symbol for the phoenix. The peacock angel is the bringer of death when the cycle is complete. Because it's an angel and because it's a bringer of death, it's not a leap of faith to say this is the angel of death. So just like in the Colburn Bible, the doom shape came. It's also called the angel of death when it appears, and it's the phoenix phenomenon. But peacock angel being the bringer of death is not a leap. This is directly out of Chumble's commentary. God's blood from out the cup, been judged and punished by the God of this world. This is just a phrase. This is a phrase in Qutub, God's blood from out the cup. It's referring to those who have been judged and punished by the God of this world. The God of this world is the demiurge. It's the false creator. Iblis, leader of the devils, the fallen ones, demonized but actually virtuous. Remember, we're living in the lie. Everything is the exact opposite of the truth. We're going to find that out about the woman who rides the beast in the book of Revelation and how the church demonized her. Basically, a patriarchal religion demonized a matriarchal, a return of the matriarchy. I'm trying to get a jump on it. Blessed few, those virtuous souls in the beginning later demonized as devils. Eve's brood, the Adamu, the race of Adam, the earthborn, the surface dwellers. Children of fair Lilith. These are virtuous human. This is a virtuous human branch later demonized for refusing to mix with the souls of the lie. Also the souls of Adam, the surface dwellers. There is every implication in Qutub that it recognizes 2 human families, one of them in the underworld and one of them on the surface. Lilith. Well, this is in ancient times. It is my belief that those who formerly dwelled in the underworld came up thousands of years ago, and this is why we have so much diversity in the human family today. Lilith, how the lost. Keep this in mind. Lilith. We've all been brainwashed into believing Lilith is the patron goddess of demons and devils and all. Lilith is how the lost see the muse, how the unawakened review the goddess. Lilith is how the lost see the muse, but Lilith is actually a code for the earthly bride, redeemed humanity. Remember, the end times is talking about the bridegroom coming back to this world, the chief cornerstone, and those redeemed souls that are awakened and ready to make their exodus. Though they're the bride. They're the bride. This is it's referred to in the Christian parlance as the marriage supper of the Lamb. The muse. The muse is the spirit of justice and immortality who protects the awakened souls. The awakened souls are referred to as the daughters of pale Lilith. Lilith is not evil. Lilith is demonized by those who are in control because they have accepted that they want to rule the lie and they don't want to leave it. The path of blame and scorn. This is a reference to those who are demonized by the Adamu, the earthborn, the lost. It's talking about the awakened souls. It's not easy to be awakened. You're going to follow the path of blame and scorn. From hell have fallen up. This is describing the children of Lilith who emerged from the underworld or a lower realm and came up here. This is the daughters of pale Lilith stand are from hell, but they have fallen up. If they're from hell, that means they've already graduated a previous lie. And this is why they are scorned. This is why they are not understood by those who are still asleep. Well beneath Kedir's bower. This is describing the well pit under the Great Pyramid directly beneath the king's chamber. Kedir would be our benefactor. You can call him Enki or Enoch. Someone who willfully stayed here in order to do something that was going to change the original plan of the construct. And in order to allow souls to make their escape, it created a lock and a key. This is the theme of Qutub. Skies wherein the angels swim. This is outside the construct. It's just a description of outside the lie. The mirror. This is mentioned 2 or 3 times in Qutub, that reality is like a mirror. This is the simulacrum, this reflective holography. Deep and dream-filled sleep. This is deep and dream-filled sleep. Our life here in the construct. Living the lie. Inside the lie, which is this reality, we're in a deep and dream-filled sleep. In flesh, that which is heard. This is an awesome statement. Because in Qutub, in the poem, it says that we in flesh that which is heard. This is the poison of the news. Because the news is creating our reality by reporting all these stories. Most of them are probably all false. But because we believe they're true in the collective, they become true. We in flesh that which is heard. This is the danger of our power. We are spiritual beings so powerful that we literally create reality by believing something is true. Limit of the truth, the lie, the mask. It's another description of the false reality, this construct. The starry lock, Qutub. Remember, Qutub is middle of the earth. Qutub is Axis Mundi. Those were all symbolized in the ancient world by the pillar in Egypt, the pillar in Syriad, the Iram of the pillars in the Arabic traditions, the Sethite pillars. This is the 2 great pyramids in Egypt at Giza. Starry lock, Qutub. Peacock angel's key. The Great Pyramid of Giza is key to the Phoenix. The secret is that this reality is a lie. Circle of the year. This is the great cycle is finished. Thought of hand and eye as one. We create our reality by action supporting thought. How many times we've discussed that in Archaix? Thought of hand and eye as one. We create our reality by actions supported by thought. In straying wide is wisdom found. That's the prodigal son experience. The errant. Straying wide means you're not going in the same direction as all the sheep. You've chosen to go your own way. What epitomizes the story that epitomizes that experience of the wayward soul is the prodigal son. Hollow idol's breast, sphinx in line above. It's talking about the sphinx. We know this because the sphinx is mentioned. So hollow idol's breast, this is alluding that there is a chamber hidden in the sphinx, and it will have great utility for us in the future. The lie is our artificial reality. Unseen who stalketh the benefactor. Oh no, unseen who stalketh. This is the benefactor presence. Amen, the hidden, who is represented in the lie as Old Kadir. Old Kadir is merely an immortal who has already graduated here, but for whatever reasons decided to stay in order to lead other souls out. The page, a single lifetime of a soul in their book. I thought that was very poetic. When it referred to the page, it was talking about a single lifetime in the book of a soul. And the book is a container of knowledge. It's everything you learned in all your life sims here in the lie. Once your book has reached its final chapter, there's no reason for you to be here anymore. Your book is complete. It's time to move on to another construct. Hide the life within the stone. How many times have we heard the stone being used as a metaphor for the benefactor's family of souls that exit the construct? This is a benefactor accepting a soul to be worthy of the stone. Remember, in the Great Pyramids, in the symbolism of the Great Pyramid, it's got countless stones, but it is a fixed number. And every single stone is a soul of the redeemed. When that number is met inside the lie, the construct, the chief cornerstone finishes the monument. Once the monument is done, it's no longer 203 courses, it's 204, which is the number of prophetic completion. The 204 books of Esdras are done. The stone, the logos, the stone uncut by human hands, the chief cornerstone. Here's an enigmatic phrase in Qutub: who live to speak their lives again. It's talking about reincarnation. It's talking about how you died, but still you live to speak your life again. So that is the cipher. Such a profound poem, really is. Let me check my chat before we go into the cipher summary. Give me some more water. Oh, this is going to get good. This is profound. It floored me when I was reading this commentary and I was putting all this together. All right. Chat looks good. So there's no reason to hesitate. Let's go see what this cipher does to the poem of Qutub. Share again. All right. So these are the messages in Qutub when applying the cipher. These will be followed by a summary of what the poem of Qutub is really telling you. So the pyramid was anciently a book under a starry canopy, now surrounded by desert land. The pyramid is opened by the passage of time and was built to spare souls a fate that had been planned for them. This book, Pyramid, will outlast all others and will seal the destiny of the awakened. The Great Pyramid has outlasted. Most of the pyramids in Egypt have all collapsed. Not the Great Pyramid. The Phoenix takes those who have tread the path of blame and scorn, who have been in hell and are taken out of this world. This world is a slumber realm, a mirrored reality. It is the lie. The pyramid is the lock, moored to the luminaries of the sky, the stellosphere. And Phoenix is the key, and they will be joined when the circle of the year is done. This is a great cycle. The pyramid has the divine writings on how to separate the living from the dead and to execute vengeance on the trespassers. This is Nemesis. The pyramid is the altar where souls will meet beneath the noonday sun. The Phoenix appearance is to be sought by those who are awakened. At the seventh age, the mundane clay of humankind will be made into a greater form. Phoenix in the last days as Fenrir the wolf will appear as a sword in Orion's belt. The pyramid is a gateless gate leading to the beyond. Souls will descend into vice, vanity, and sin, and through dying and being born over and again, they will learn and climb the ladder in this dream world. Qutub is literally telling you the exact opposite of what all the religions convey. The religions convey that you're born in sin, you're evil from the beginning, and it's your fault. Qutub is telling you you are deliberately put into a lie, and that you are put up against impossible odds, and that in this place you are expected to fall, trip, sin, participate in evil sometimes. You are expected to be human. And that in doing this, it's going to separate the holy from the unholy. The woman called Lilith and the Muse is holy and at the heart of this dream where souls are sent into evil that they may arrive at holiness. This is interesting here. The Sphinx is directly mentioned, lending credit to the correct interpretation of the Great Pyramid being the book, the gate, and the lock. The Sphinx is mentioned in the same passage in Qutub as the Phoenix, which is also directly mentioned, where we have several references to the peacock angel, but in the one verse where we find the word Sphinx, we also find the word Phoenix. The Sphinx and the Phoenix reside in the realm called the lie. Inside the lie, all representation of the true God are false. Idolatry. The souls inside the lie search for God, but the divine is not found in the world of phenomena. Souls in the lie wear flesh that does not belong to them, for they are made of materials like the stars outside this world. Awakened souls are muted in the lie, rarely able to share their revelation of immortal identity. All the religions of the world cannot contain the revelation of the within. I'm going to read that first part over. Awakened souls are muted in the lie, rarely able to share their revelation of their immortal identity. The rest of the world would never understand. Those souls who never find within are moored to hell, enslaved by their own words, who live to speak their lives again. Stay inside the lie while the redeemed are taken out. Infants were old humans just before birth. The daughters of pale Lilith stand refers to awakened souls of the muse. The muse, in her other forms, as the world sees her, she's Lilith. As the awakened seer, she's the muse. As the construct sees her, she's Nemesis, bringer of justice. The soul has two choices here. Take thou the world to be thy lover, or take thyself and make it other. Those are your two choices here. Take thou the world to be thy lover. If you love the world and you live for the world, and you have exchanged your inheritance in the future, which is huge, to a temporal one here, you stay in the cycle of life sims. You chose that. You stay here. But if you choose to take yourself and make it other, something far beyond what you presently are, that's the key to making Exodus. That's the key that when the Phoenix appears, it provides it for you. For them, it's terrible because the world that they fell in love with is burned. It's burned. But it's remade on the ashes of they become post cataclysm society, and they rebuild. Been doing it over and over and over, adding forever. This construct never ends. God is eternal. It's always been here. Then it's on a loop. You have a choice. Thou take the world to be thy lover and stay here living life sims, as Qutub shows you, or take thyself and make it other. And the Phoenix becomes your key that unlocks Qutub, the Great Pyramid. And it allows your soul with the other souls that are awakened to move on to another place. Unless it is your choice to become a Qadir, to be that one immortal that stays behind that everyone else can get out. Mm-hmm. So this is how the Cipher changes the meaning of a lot of Qutub, or adds meaning Qutub. Now I'm going to provide you the summary. It's very short, but this sums it all up. I read for you the poem Qutub. I provided you the cipher. Much of the cipher comes straight out of Andrew Chumbley's own commentary on his poem. A lot of it comes from just the general meanings of all these symbols from different ancient texts. Easy to find, easy to verify. Now I'm going to provide you the summary. This is Qutub. We are souls passing through a lie, a dream world, and those souls that fall in love with the dream remain here. Those souls that search within, beyond the lie, are made to live multiple incarnations in avatars and are released through a gate to the beyond. This mechanism is looked upon with horror by those who love the lie, because the key is the Phoenix that burns worlds as the souls exiting the dream are sent through the gate that remains locked until the Phoenix appears. The stewards of the dream world have demonized the righteous souls and their progenitor, the Muse. They have called her Lilith and changed the meaning of her appearance in the sacred prophecies. Her presence riding the beast system of the lie that ruled the dream world is regarded by the lost as a whore holding a cup that overflows with blood. She is Nemesis, bringing vengeance upon the stewards of the lie. But to her children, redeemed souls making their exit, the daughters of pale Lilith, she is the Muse, holding up the chalice of immortality, the reward for those that have overcome. Before you say I'm inventing anything, in Andrew Chumley, the author's commentary, he specifically said that the woman riding the beast in Revelation is actually the muse holding up the chalice of immortality. It was the Roman church that changed the imagery and demonized her. I've done decodes on the book of Revelation where I showed you that the Judeo-Christian interpolations are just that, interpolations, and that the original Greek text can be isolated. And when you do, you have the exact same thing that Mother Shipton wrote. You have the exact same thing that we find in the Sibylline prophecies, in the prophecies of Nostradamus. We have the exact same thing that is mentioned in the two back-to-back destructions of the world that are coming in the end times after the apocalypse. In the Ragnarok, it's all the same. One is a fire, one is a flood of fire, and one of them is a rain of gravel. So, in Qutub, in the poem Qutub, we literally have from ancient Kurdistan, from the Kurds, the Yezidas, we have in Qutub the entire Archaix paradigm laid out from a faith that is still preserved today by the Kurds. That's older than Christianity. It is older than Judeo-Christianity. It is older than the Zendavesta of ancient Persia. It is older than every single branch of the Gnosis. It is older than almost every religion that we still practice in the world today. Preserved by this very old people, the descendants of the Yezidas, the Kurds. These people laid out the entire Archaix paradigm. It's all there. And it was all very cleverly put together by a man before he died named Andrew Chumley. That's my presentation, guys. Today was a short one. Today was a very short one. I can't believe I kept it under an hour. But the poem of Qutub it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And you can find PDFs online of it. And one of those PDFs, I believe from Internet Archive, at the bottom of the poem of Qutub, there is a full, very long commentary where Andrew Chumley literally tells you all these things. You have to put it together yourself, but it's all there, right there. So I made nothing up. But yeah, it's this is probably going to be my shortest live video ever, except for Cipher. I've done some short Cipher ones, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But as far as YouTube goes, this is my shortest live ever. I'm still a minute and a half under 2 minutes, under an hour. How'd that happen? Yeah, man. Such an amazing poem, Qutub. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. I was floored when I was going through his commentary because I did a video on Qutub 2 years ago and it didn't do it justice. It didn't do it justice at all. So let's see. Tomorrow I'm going live with the Cipher group. I think my next presentation. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I have so many options. I'm just not sure. I may do Archaix 4.0 on the pre-flood world because that's next. Or I may not. I may do something else. I don't know. I'm so conflicted. Been getting a lot of work done on my property. Yeah, it's great. It's crazy. I know my Archaix veterans love this presentation. It is so confirmatory. It is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, it is so crazy. Flow Try 1. Does that jar filter your water, Jason? Yeah. I mean, you push this button here. I don't know. I don't think it's a filter. Somebody said it wasn't a filter, but it's supposed to add more hydrogen to the water or something. I can't remember what it does. I know it changes the taste. At least it might be psychological. You can see the bubbles in it. It does that for about 2 minutes. And then you're supposed to drink it. I'm not really sure what it does. Somebody was sold on it. Got them one, got me one. No, the lava lamp's back here. Somebody else asking about the lava lamp. I don't even have it plugged in. I got too much going on over here. That's not a lava lamp. Those are jellyfish. That's not a lava lamp. I normally have that on. Look at me doing show and tell on my studio. So I can do a commercial. Yeah, I can do a commercial for our Archaix shirts. Man, we have so many shirt designs, V-necks for girls, tank tops. We got hoodies, and you can choose. If you order a shirt from us, you don't have to go by the catalog. Shopify doesn't allow us to do a whole lot. When you order a shirt, you can actually send a message and say, hey, this is the closest thing to what I want. But what I really want is I want a shirt that's V-necked, black, and I want this design on it, and I want you to switch the front and the back, and I want you to put an Archaix patch on the side. You can do whatever you want. That's because we now have our own setup. We have our own t-shirt press. So yeah, we quit relying on a vendor to do all that because they kept messing everything up. So we just invested in the t-shirt press, learned how to do everything, got all the patterns, and we do it all now. Yeah, copper cups. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a believer in drinking out of copper. I wish all my cups were copper. I'm already on to that. Shellcracker says, Occultus Mysterium Part 2, please. I could literally do that. I have even more images now than I did before. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Amazon just sent me a whole package full of drives. I've been neglecting that, but we have so much new data in Archaix. We're going to issue all the drives and add to them, update them. The individual Phoenix Blackout drive, Great Pyramid Blackout drive. We have a new drive coming out. Oh, that's what I can talk about for a second before I go. It's almost ready, but we have a new drive that we've never sold before. It's the We Immortals drive. We Immortals drive is a single drive that has a whole bunch of video transcripts in it that you can read of all the We Immortals videos, but it also has every single We Immortals video in it. So all the real spiritual stuff, all the stuff you really resonate with, it's all in one drive. We're gonna provide that. Most of the drives are like $40-$50. And they're packed with all kinds of things. We do have a real expensive one, but hell, they cost $200. A 4 terabyte drive. We have a 4 terabyte drive, but it's extremely expensive. It almost costs $200 to buy the drive. Then it costs like $50 to mail them international. So, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So we're probably going to discontinue the 4 terabyte drive. It's just too much of a hassle. Plus, it takes 16, 17 hours to fill it up with 1,000 videos and everything else that's in the smaller drives. We're learning. All right. I think that's about it for now. I'm going to post on X. I got some things to post on X tonight. My X community, if you guys want me to post a bunch of the Qutub stuff on there, let me know and I'll do it. Oh, Diane Young, I'm going to do that too. She's asking about what about that single page from that 300-page book? No, that was a 1,147-page book from the year 1740. 300 is 300 years old. Yeah, I had that video coming up too. That's amazing. I got so many video files open. So this has been my first official video with my new high-speed internet. I'm so happy. So happy. But I will say this. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later.